So welcome to Bria. Take a deep breath. This is our rhythm session, our weekly session to plant the seeds for learning together. So we're here for more wisdom. That's great. And this is a journey that is a long journey. It's a lifelong journey. It never ends. But with Bria, you're here for 12 months, 11-week cohort. Every week we have something to help us integrate better, because integrating better helps us unravel new leadership landscapes, enhance our self-awareness, and also deepen our connection. And we do that by integrating theory and practice and 4 movements. We all have our quest, individual quest, and now we're moving through the park or the territory here, the map, with the 4 contexts that we picked for our journey. So we are in week 4. We're supposed to start cycles 7, 8, and 9 this week. So if you haven't caught up yet, that's okay. You're supposed to have finished cycle 6, which is a nice panel discussion with the keynote speakers from the first context, The Future is High Tech. And we have a little bit more of Yasuhiko, manifesting your cosmic singularity as responsibility. It's a fascinating read. I hope you all get there and enjoy yourselves, taking good notes to understand what is required for us to experience that imaginative state that he talks about. So it's taking responsibility as a tool, as actually a gift to increase our ability to use technology. And we don't have to be using the cutting edge technology to participate. It's all around us. We are already in this context for good. Well, for good means not necessarily all good, but for good. It's happening. It's not going to go away. So cycle 7 is a beautiful cycle where we say, what's the difference between spirituality and religion? What is the benefit of connecting with a higher self? There is physiology involved here for dealing with mental health. And Dr. Lisa Miller is the perfect person to show us the way. And then in the philosophy corner, we picked Plotinus, who was an Egyptian, who also talked about spirit and the contemplation, the act of contemplation being this union with God. Beautiful, beautiful learnings from Plotinus. Then in cycle 8, we're going to see Corina talking about intergenerational dilemmas or issues. And we have Confucius talking about ethics. There's no difference between ethics and politics in Confucius learnings or teachings. Unfortunately, we have not been able to put that to practice yet. Hopefully soon in this humanity we're in. And then cycle 9 is neuroscience. It's with Dr. Edo Pontes, and it's also a very interesting cycle to talk about Epictetus, which is a fascinating philosopher. So this is all that waits for you this week. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you came to the live session. And if you didn't, here are the highlights. We were able to unveil these 10 attributes of nature positive leadership. And I hope you will read this later when I shared the slides with you. And today we're going to practice a little bit. So understanding that we're part of nature, that's where it begins. Understanding that there is interdependency and embracing it. Not looking for quick fixes, and we're going to practice that today, but boosting our critical thinking. That's so important, and that's what we're here to do. We have our community. Don't forget the community challenge. I'm going to ask Rafael to extend the deadline so you can participate. We have Cristina already with her comment there, and Roberto Gregory, who took the first cohort, the pilot cohort, also commenting there. So please join, make your comment on each other, and let's participate in the challenge. That's another opportunity to learn together. And today I want to talk to you, before we go into the practice session, about wisdom. And I'm borrowing some concepts from Plato. Plato talks about eternal truths. So he says that eternal truth combined with the ability to make good judgment, so the critical thinking, is how we kind of exist in the physical world. So wisdom is related to 3 fundamental cardinal virtues: courage, temperance, and justice. However, if we do not have wisdom, courage becomes reckless anger. Temperance becomes mindless obedience, and justice cannot be defined. Okay? So today we're going to be practicing together with these concepts of Plato and also some of the attributes of the nature positive leadership that we unveiled last Friday. The name of the exercise is the wisdom pivot. I'm going to read it to you and then I'm going to stop sharing my screen so I can see you. But we're going to practice together, avoiding the quick fixes, okay? So bridging this higher level wisdom with what we have to do in the physical world in terms of practicality. So we are usually very constantly pressured to move fast. So we tend to look for easy fix, quick fix. But sometimes we are just being taken by this mindless obedience of market trends or whoever said it first or whatever is happening around you. Don't even have the time to think. So today we're going to get this definition from Plato that wisdom boosts our critical thinking, okay? So we're going to practice how to act without turning courage into recklessness, without turning temperance into mindless obedience, no thinking, and without turning justice into something that is totally ungrounded. No way to do it, to make it happen, okay? So right now, take a deep breath and think of a current messy business or societal dilemma that you may be facing or that you know is out there, okay? So just close your eyes, think of a dilemma that is in front of you. If it's closer to you, it's going to be easier for you to do the exercise. But if you don't want to expose yourself, that's fine. One example here, a company may be rushing to apply AI features and take it to market before they fully understand the data privacy implications. And they're doing that because competitors are moving fast. So they're being forced to take it to market without really going deep and analyzing the implications for the customers. So that's the dilemma. The competition is running fast. I need to launch. I need to go, but I'm not ready. So what is the eternal truth that we need to notice in this particular example? Okay, what is the core value that's missing here? In this example, it's the ethical implications for the user. We are supposed to protect the user of our products. If we don't know what the privacy implications are and we launch the product, we have a problem there, right? An ethical problem, okay? So then after we know the dilemma, know the eternal truth, the core value, then we think of a micro action that honors that truth without being reckless. So what is this very small action? Hold the launch. At least have a conversation around it and try to listen to dissent. Okay? So let me stop sharing here and then I'll explain the exercise looking at you. All right. Okay, so hey, Susanna. Hey, Sue.
Hi, hello.
Great, great, great. All right, so the exercise is the following. You're all going to think of a dilemma, okay? You've already thought with me here, but if you haven't yet, write it down because then it's easier when you go to the breakout room. What is the dilemma? And if you're driving, don't write it down, just think. What is the dilemma you're going to bring to the breakout room? So person A is going to share the dilemma and explain in brief words. And then person B is going to come up with the core value, this eternal truth that is being endangered by this dilemma. What is at stake? What is the core value at stake here? The coach, the second person will tell you, you're not going to say anything, okay? And then the other person will also try to help you find a quick, not a small fix, but a first move, a first step that needs to be done or could be done to help you clear out this dilemma with integrity. Okay, so 5 minutes, person A shares the dilemma, person B shares the value that is being hurt or in danger of being hurt, and the action, what I call it, the micro action that honors that truth without being reckless. Okay, so the breakout rooms. I have 3 rooms, and you can pick which room. Please, 2 people per room only, okay? And the rooms are named after Plato: courage, temperance, and justice. So just pick a room, and person A starts sharing the dilemma. Person B brings the core value that's being heard and the micro action that could be done. And then we switch. I'll tell you 5 minutes, I'll tell you to switch. So pick a group and go. Have fun. Welcome back, Marie. Good to see you. So how was the conversation in Courage, in the group Courage?
Very interesting. Too short,
Yeah, that's just a little bit.
but very interesting.
What was your dilemma?
It was not mine, actually. It was Sylvia dilemma. Sylvia, would you like to share it with us?
She is not back yet. Let's wait for her to
She's
come back.
not
Yeah.
back. Okay.
So you didn't switch. You didn't do it yours. Just
No, we didn't have the time. I was with Sylvia and Luisa, and we only share Sylvia
okay. So she's
dilemma.
coming back now. Everybody's back. Welcome back. Good. All right. So I hear in the group of Courage, it was Sylvia's dilemma. Sylvia, can you share the dilemma, please?
Okay, I thought about something that is my day-to-day, which is choosing from or having a hard time nowadays in between offering and selling a process of transformation of human development, of leadership development, which will at least take a 3 months dive with the executive, the leadership in the company, versus something that is wanted even more nowadays, which is a quick fix that drive people, that develop people all of a sudden in after 1 or 2 or 3 encounters, and you know that's something that I know it won't be as productive as a process, and they won't, in the end of the day, they won't achieve the results that are desired.
Okay, so let's go a little bit faster, because otherwise we won't have time for everybody to share. So the dilemma is offering quick fixes for leadership training. That doesn't really do the work. So what is the core value at stake?
I'd say, well, Marie, come.
Yeah, Marie, can you share?
Yes. Well, I was thinking that there is 2 core values. The first one that is respecting yourself in a way, or what seems important for Sylvia is to taking time and really let the process do its job and respect this process. So somehow there's something linked to the way she liked to work, and well, her core value. And
so
another value,
the core value that it's at station is the impatience or patience, right? Is something that is not being given to the process, right? And what is the micro action that could be done?
the micro action, I suggest that maybe she could have first a talk about all this with our clients, to explain that time is really important, and if they are looking for transformation or change, that sometimes you need to go for the process and trust in the process.
Yeah,
But actually,
so explaining. Sometimes you have the time to explain. Sometimes you don't have the time to explain. But maybe then come up with the micro action would be improve the communication, improve the explanation, make it a quicker explanation of why time matters or why it can't be a miracle, right? So maybe, I don't know, I'm just suggesting here. So this is the exercise. We're not fixing the problem now. We're just helping her see one micro step that she can do to go towards having this eternal truth, a virtue, which is patience. People are so hurried up that they don't even have patience anymore. For transformation, that doesn't work, right? Without patience. Okay, so I want to hear the other one. So anything else to add, Marie, before we jump to the other group?
No, just that Louisa
Yeah.
give another idea, and it's also a very good idea. She suggests, Louisa, I don't know if you want to share it, if your
Chris
communication
already
is good,
left.
because she was.
Yeah, she had to go.
Ah,
She's
okay.
traveling, so you can
Well,
share.
she suggests Sylvia to keep on her why, and then maybe imagine something else. Not focus on what she's offering right now, what is her main offer, but maybe connect to her why, and then say, okay, if this 3 months process is not accurate anymore with my customer, what can I do differently?
Perfect. Okay, so stick to her belief, to what she is, why she's doing that. So stick with the why, and then come up with something else that maybe is not what she wants to do, but will probably meet people in the middle and they will listen. So to open the door, to listen a little bit, maybe. That's a good micro action. Yes. Okay, so Leah and Susanna, you were in the courage room. So
No, actually, we're on justice.
the justice room. Courage was Marie and Sylvia. Sorry, I'm getting all confused here. So justice, who wants to share first? Dilemma.
I suggested a dilemma, although I had many. I could go, photography versus AI, we didn't go that way because like right now I was talking about the club volleyball system that is to me unjust to the parents and maybe the kids because like they expect parents to be fully loaded and with the money and organized and available time wise like all the time, and then without considering the whole system, when you have more than one kid or just one parent or all of the above, and the quick fix is like, okay, we're not doing it, but then it's good for them and their values. So I feel like I feel like an unjust system built for parents in that environment.
Okay, so it's an injustice, a case of injustice here. So that's the core value. What is the micro action?
Yeah, when we were discussing it, and this is really what I think is is injustice, is saying, okay, you have to do it no matter what your life is, how your life is, and it doesn't matter. So I had suggested her to have, a talk that is very true to herself, to say really what is really impacting her life. But also she said that she had already done that, but they just say that's how it is. And so I also said that maybe, bringing in the community, other parents that have the same problem will make it stronger. But she was telling me a very interesting thing. She said, like, American families, they think it's natural to do like that. So for her, it's like she's out of the society that of thinking that parents have to do everything, and it doesn't matter if they impact their lives, but you have to do it because that's how the system is. So it's very complicated, right? I mean, there's no
Yeah,
justice here.
we're not fixing the problem. We're just
Yeah.
trying to come up with a micro action. And your
Yeah,
micro action is
but that's what I'm
actually
saying.
good.
Having a micro action that really can do something, you think about micro actions, but things are just.
Yeah, and then it's okay. The exercise here was just to find the micro action. Okay, so let's just leave it here and we'll come back to this problem later, Elia, because it's a very important problem. But the micro action is try to increase the reach to other parents and see if you find other parents who have the same issue to join forces, perhaps, and not solving the problem yet, understanding it's the system like that, but maybe talking to other parents before you quit. Okay. Okay. And then did you have a chance to switch?
No.
No. Okay. So that's good to know because the time is really short for a big dilemma, and both groups only had one dilemma. So we'll do this. We'll be mindful of time next week and try to come up with something that is just a seed so you can get going. But I really welcome and invite you to continue this thought process. Okay. So what is the dilemma? What is the core value at stake? And identify the core values, not solving the problem yet, but think of a micro action that can create movement, that can bring some flow to that. You're not going to solve it, especially if it's a very complex problem and that doesn't depend on you. It comes from outside. But think of micro actions, and the micro actions might lead to a plan. Okay, so just identify the core value and be clear what it is that is at stake here. Okay, great. So let's
Okay.
finish today with your final word. I'm very happy that you're here. Enjoy the rest of the journey in the platform online, but your final word. So Susanna, how do you leave the session today?
I leave the session more thoughtful of, the problems.
Thoughtful, thank you. Marie, what's your word? You're on mute.
I was thinking how much, it brings me joy and energy to be able to share on these topics with you guys.
Joy
So
and
gratitude.
Good, that's fine. Leah, your word. How do you leave the session today?
Today is monkey brain. Like,
Good. And Sylvia, what's your word? How do you leave the session today?
Supported.
Supported. Okay. And again, we're here for each other. Thank you so much for coming. If you want, just continue the conversation offline, please do. And in the platform, use that platform for continuing the conversation. Put the dilemmas there and let's continue the conversation around it. Okay. Use the technology to your favor. Thank you
Okay.
again. See you next
Thank
week.
you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Bye.